What's going on, fantasy baseball fans? I'm your host, Hussein the Brain, and you're watching The Couch. We're here with our fantasy baseball guru, Andrew Eggers. What's up, man?
What's up, Brain?
Glad to have you back on a new video. We're going to be talking about waivers this week. Let's jump right into it. Let's talk about some of the catchers you have.
Yeah, I got two catchers. First, I want to talk about Yan Gomes. He suffered a sprained MCL earlier this season. He should be starting a rehab assignment by the end of this week and could be back as early as next week. He's one of the best hitting catchers in the league, Hussein, when he's healthy. The other catcher I have on the list is Miguel Montero for the Cubs. He's a left-handed hitting catcher, but he's hitting .296 at this moment with 4 home runs and 15 RBIs. That's good production out of a catcher, and I'd expect him to hit about 15 to 18 home runs this year.
How bad do you need to pick up these two guys?
Yan Gomes, you got to pick him up pretty quickly. Guys are going to jump on him soon because they know he's coming back from the disabled list. Miguel Montero, in a shallow league, he'll probably still be on the wire for the next couple weeks. In a deeper league, though, you want to get Montero like yesterday.
Now let's move on to the infielders.
So I got Brandon Belt, first baseman for the San Francisco Giants. He's without a home run on the season, which isn't typical for him, but he is hitting over 300 in the season, and he's also hitting over 385 for the month of May with 6 doubles. So I'd expect his power to reemerge here soon, but he's a great play at this point in a deeper league for first baseman. Aaron Hill, he's a veteran. He's playing a lot of third base this season for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's kind of platooning there with Manny Tomas, the new phenom from Cuba, if you will. But Aaron Hill is actually hitting very well this month. He's hitting over 400. I would expect his playing time to continue to go up if he's going to continue to hit. And last but not least, for infielders, I have Yunel Escobar, who has both shortstop and third base eligibility, although he's playing a lot of third base right now for Anthony Rendon, who's injured for the Washington Nationals. Long story short is this guy, Yunel Escobar, has been around for a while, but he's hitting over 330 right now. He's just absolutely hitting the cover off the ball, and it should continue. The Nationals are a really good team. He's playing well. The team itself is really gelling, which works well for those guys and the veteran leadership that they have in that club. So I like him as a play for the next month or two.
And how about them outfielders, Drew?
Well, this is one of my favorite players, Avisel Garcia from the White Sox. He's hitting over 300 right now. He's got 3 home runs and 11 RBIs, which aren't gaudy stats, but he's only 23 years old, and he was actually injured most of last season. If he can stay healthy this season, I think he could hit almost 20 home runs. And then we're talking about Andre Ethier. Now, this is a guy who's really been on the trading block for, it seems like, years now for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And, you know, you got Carl Crawford going through his injury issues. You got Yasiel Puig also going through injury issues. He's getting a lot of starting time, Andre Ethier that is, and he's making the best of it. This is a great pickup. Even in a shallow league, I think, for the next, say, 2 or 3 weeks, he should really be a good play. And in deeper leagues, you definitely want to pick this guy up. And the last guy I have is Anthony Gose. He's got 4 multi-hit games in the last 2 weeks for the Detroit Tigers in what is kind of like a soft platoon situation with Rajai Davis. But Gose, if he can continue to hit, he's going to earn most of the playing time. And he's already got 6 stolen bases on the season. So if you're in need for steals in a category league, he'd be a great pickup as well.
Smells good.
Real good.
Let's move on to the pitchers. What starters do you have?
Well, atop my list is Archie Bradley. He was sporting a 2-0 record with an ERA under 2 before he got hit in the face with a line drive by Carlos Gonzalez. Now, he'll be back Saturday to pitch against the Phillies, which is like record time for getting hit in the face with a line drive. But ultimately, he was just lucky to not have suffered serious injuries to the face. But he's a great pickup, and he's only owned in about half of Yahoo and ESPN leagues at the moment, so make sure you grab him immediately. Next on my list is Colby Lewis, the 35-year-old veteran starting pitcher for the Texas Rangers. He's starting to regain his old form. He's now 3-2 on the season with a 2.40 ERA. I say he's a solid pickup in most formats at this point. Then you have Carlos Rodon. I actually wrote an article about him recently as a prospect to watch out for and to maybe pick up. Well, it's time to pick him up. He's actually going to be officially into the rotation this Friday. And he actually already picked up his first win. So with that said, you need to pick this guy up immediately. He was pitching against the Reds. I think he gave up 2 earned runs over 6 innings. So he's a great pickup. He had 8 strikeouts as well. So that's a kid that's got much upside. And some people have forgot about Henderson Alvarez, who was the actual ace for the Miami Marlins last season. He's getting a rehab start here soon. He should be back in the rotation pretty quickly. People forget he was 12-7 with an ERA under 3 last season. So when he gets back into the rotation, the big leagues expect him to do some wonders for your team if you already have him added as of now, if not soon. And so I have 2 other starters that I want to talk about. Now I put these guys more towards the bottom of the list because they're better for deeper leagues. But with that said, you got Ruby De La Rosa and you also got Nathan Carnes. De La Rosa is a pitcher for the Diamondbacks. Carnes pitches for the Rays. De La Rosa has lasted 7 innings in each of his last 2 outings. He's a younger pitcher on the rise. Carnes is 2-1 now. He's a middle-of-the-road kind of guy, but I think that he could put together at least 12 to 14 wins this season and do some pretty good wonders for your team, especially in a deeper league.
Now moving on to the relievers.
Well, first you got to talk about AJ Ramos. He's actually going to pick up most of the slack, it would seem, for Steve Chisek. I never can pronounce that correctly, but I'll just go with it. Chisek is struggling mightily. He's got an ERA of like 10. He's getting beat up all over the place. So Ramos, who's got an ERA at about 1, he's going to come in and actually kind of lead the closer by committee in Miami for the time being. And then I got 2 other relievers, again, towards the bottom of the list because they're better for deeper leagues. But I have Jim Johnson of the Atlanta Braves, and I have Chad Qualls of the Houston Astros. So Jim Johnson is kind of taken over for the time being for Jason Grilli, who's having some back issues. I think they said that he was having some back spasms recently. So he's going to pick up the slack. He throws really hard. He can get strikeouts as long as he can locate the fastball. And then Qualls, he's going to take over for Luke Gregerson just for the time being while Gregerson attends to a family matter. But it's not really specified on how long Gregerson will be out. So you might see Qualls get save opportunities for, say, an extended period of time, maybe through the rest of the month.
And that's all the waivers we have for this video. Make sure you guys do these 2 things so you'll be amongst the first people to know when we come out with the next baseball video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media, either Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Fantasy Couch. And on the next video, we'll likely be talking about players to drop, but leave a comment down below and we may consider what your suggestions are. Also, if you haven't seen our Manny Pacquiao video, the parody we just did, make sure you guys watch that. We'll see you on the next video.